Hi. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for watching this video. If you decided to tune in, say hey when you're hopping on. Let me know you're here. If you're watching the replay instead of the live, hashtag replay. If you feel called to share this video, do it. I want to talk to you guys about a pretty important topic that I feel you may resonate with. Okay, I'm just sharing this video in a few places. I hope all the energies that have been coming at us are keeping you in a state of awareness instead of high alert and are showing you the exact pattern that you need to release. I want you to let me know in the comments if you resonate with the topic, how my spirituality became an illusion and blocked me from truly loving myself, and what to do when lost in the facade of love and light, and how to snap yourself out of it and start being you. So I feel like right around my Saturn return, which is when Saturn begins to make its way back to where it was when you were born, I really started, honestly, probably even before then. Honestly, probably when I moved to California. Like, I think that's what happened. I was in Tennessee and I was doing spiritual work with my daughter, who's like a baby, and then I fell in love with my baby daddy Angelo, and I moved to California. And when I moved to California, I instantly felt this weird energy of like, shoo, like disconnect from my spirituality. Like, I had been really grounded and doing spiritual work. I'd been going to women's circles. I had been doing the work, I had been showing up for myself. And when I moved to California, I just moved into a completely different environment, a completely different place. And like, I didn't know anybody. And then when I started mingling with people, it was like, I lived in LA, and like, there's parts of LA that feel really, really fake. And I'm not the only one that has ever said that about that place, but I'm someone that's like, very authentic and real. Like, I'm a nature girl. I like to talk about real things. Like, my favorite thing is going deep with people. And like, I just felt like very surface when I moved there. And I think from moving there and from being in a partnership that wasn't necessarily best for me, even though I couldn't see it, I quickly fell into this facade of love and light. And I realized that it was a protection mechanism. It was a protection mechanism for me to not think that, things about my human experience were okay. I was living in an illusion. I think a part of me really, really, really thought like the aliens are going to come down and I'm going to go to another dimension and like I'm going to ascend because I'm not special. Like, seriously. And it's not something I would say out loud, but I think that false sense of importance was me trying to love myself in a space where I couldn't really go deep and process my trauma. When I started my journey, I was seeing a shaman, and I was seeing her once a week, and we were like processing the trauma together. And I was going to circles, I was connecting with other women, like I was going out in nature, I was really doing the work. And like that instant of me going into this concrete jungle, moving to LA, felt complete disconnection from nature. I went into a facade as a protection mechanism, and it just kind of started from there. And whenever I got my bus, moved to Oregon, I started feeling more connected to nature. I started feeling like I could still be more myself, but I was still having an identity crisis. I was still really attached to who I thought I was and who I thought I was being and where I thought my spiritual journey was taking me. And I wasn't just letting the journey take me where I wanted to go. I was trying to control the journey. And I think a part of me trying to control that journey was lying to myself that, I was with my twin flame, and like this wasn't abuse, this was just like twin flame karma burning up, and that like, everything's okay, and like I have all these angels with me, which I don't actually work with angels anymore, or like any type of beings anymore, especially after what I've discovered about false light and about false ascension programs that like that energy many energy workers don't even really know about. But that was also a part of me being trapped in the love and light, right? Like, I think real spirituality is about being human. And these past 2.5 years, I have deprogrammed from being a spiritual narcissist, I think. Having a false sense of importance, and not saying that like every my next video I'm gonna do is my next video that I'm gonna do is gonna be called "Everybody's a Narcissist," and here's why. And we're gonna talk about that because I have all these conversations with people every day, and I want to open the conversation to you guys. Let me know in the comments if you're vibing with what I'm saying, or if you understand what I'm saying about being trapped in like a spiritual illusion. And observing myself, I realized, especially especially looking back at the beliefs that I had when I was younger, I really thought that aliens were gonna come down and take me up on their ship, and I was peacing out. Like, that's how special I thought I fucking was, you know? Like, and like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think there's a part of me, not now, but there was a part of me, especially within the last year, that made me really come back down to earth. I think COVID made a lot of spiritual people come down to earth. I started following the teachings of Aisha, uh, which I follow very loosely. I follow these teachings very loosely, but there's a lot of truth to them, that there are dimensions of false light that want to keep you away from your higher self. And like, angels, not all angels, not all ascended masters, but there's definitely illusion in the spiritual world. And I was one of those people that was way caught up in the illusion of the spiritual world, and I still see it every day. Like I see people who are caught up in that, and it's really us just trying to feel our power. We're just trying to feel our power. We're just trying to feel our power. It's like a trauma response to being human, but when we do that, we lose our authenticity. When we try not to be ourselves, or when we disconnect from our purpose here on Earth and what we are here to do on the planet that we are on, we make up these false spiritual ideals. And we're like, literally, one of my chakra teachers, the book I use to train healers in my 6-month program, Chakra Genie Method, open for 3 people. Send me a DM if you're a healer that wants to learn the energetic anatomy of the body and scale, grow, or create a business 5, 6, 7 figures. One of the things she says about disconnecting from your 10th chakra, your earth star chakra, which is 4 feet in the earth, is that you will literally have illusions or delusions about who you are and what you're here to be, and like how you're here to be that. And I feel like a part of me in my spirituality and being so uncomfortable in my own fucking body and myself, and like in my expression and who I am, and like just the feelings of not enoughness, made me want to seek power outside of me. So I was like, yeah, the aliens are just gonna come get me and everything's gonna be fine, you know? And like, slowly but surely, I began to start to realize, like, that's not the work. even like doing plant medicine all the time isn't the work. Anything that gives you a sense of power that you have to do outside of yourself is not doing the work, because doing the work is honoring everything. You honor it all. You honor all the ugly patterns. You honor all the shadow patterns. You honor it all, and then you do the mental, emotional, physical, spiritual work to change the pattern. Hiding behind my spirituality and going into communities where other people are also hiding behind love and light. They're hiding behind keywords. They're hiding behind sound bowls and energy work, and they're hiding behind these concepts. Like, we have to use discernment. And I was not discerning when I first started my business. I was not using discernment. I was just out here being a spiritual willy-nilly priestess. You know what I'm saying? Sarah, I love you, Sarah. So, and not to say that my authentic self didn't come through, because she's powerful, but but my sense of identity was off kilter. My sense of identity was in, well, I'm this spiritual being, I'm this light worker, and I'm going to ascend because I have these gifts. And like, I look back at some of the videos I did back in those times, and like, don't get me wrong, my higher self was coming through. Like, God was coming through. Like, there's always a part of me that has known, like, it's not through me. It's not me, it's God through me. I've always known that. So like, any energy work I've ever done, like, I've never, this, what I'm saying is like, this concept I'm talking about didn't affect my work back then, but I know myself. And so like, I'll look back at videos I did and I'm like, girl, like, you were kind of putting on a show, like you were kind of being fake a little bit, you know? And anytime I would notice that, I would be like, ooh, I need to like not do that. I need to like get on live and talk about how much I fight with Angelo or whatever it was at the time, you know? And I would. And authenticity would come through there. And through those moments, I would really learn to love myself. But you guys, it was so fucking uncomfortable because I was trying to live up to an unrealistic standard of what the fuck it means to be spiritual and human, because I'm still human, and an unrealistic standard of what it means to be a really, really good coach for business, for people, for energy work for people, for life, for relationships. Like, I just am a reflector. So I have this wisdom in me that I've literally had since I was a child, that is a gift that I can share in many ways. And that gift will come out, but like, how I created a concept about who I'm being with that gift and let it define my spirituality, that was me hiding. That was me not wanting to be human. That was me not wanting to admit, like, no, you gotta like take care of the earthly shit. Like, everybody shits, right? Everybody eats. Everybody goes through shit. And I was thinking about this morning because I've really been thinking about mistakes and setbacks and obstacles. How many of you guys are currently experiencing any level of mistakes, setbacks, or obstacles? Give me some hearts if you're experiencing that. What I realize is like, I'm not really loving myself when I'm judging myself for being in patterns that I have that come from trauma. And I'm not really loving myself if I want to deny the patterns I have. I'm not really loving myself, you know? I want to be real. Like, life is messy. Death is real. Problems are real. Can we solve them with spiritual tools? Fuck yes, we can. Are the aliens coming down to save us and help us escape this planet? No, they are not. Not this round. Not here, not now. We have to accept the reality we live in as a human. And we have to accept our human nature. It is in my nature to be extremely fucking successful and then fail. In 2020, I looked at my tax return for 2020. In 2020, I made $138,000 in my business. In my mind, I should be at $840,000 a year right now, right? My growth is not working that way because there's something I need to learn about being human. You know, 2021 probably didn't make that much. 2022, maybe I'll make that much. But the fact that I even went from homeless girl traveling with a backpack to making $140,000 a year in an online coaching business I created with no fucking professional training at all. Like, that is a part of my human self, but there's also a part of my human self that likes to sabotage. Because in that 2020, getting to that number, I sabotaged a lot the whole way. I sabotaged the whole way. I failed. I canceled retreats that were paid for. I had to give refunds to people that I didn't want to give refunds to. Actually, I've regretted giving refunds to people who I shouldn't have given refunds to because I have a no refund policy. I've had people, you know, feel disappointed in their service with me. I've had people who I've collaborated with, you know, like freak out on me freak out on them. I've had public fights on live video, like some freaking spiritual housewives shit. You know, like, and some of y'all might remember that shit. Some of y'all might have been around long enough, and you might even know who I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is, like, I still succeeded even though I'm a ratchet ass bitch. But I wasn't accepting the ratchetness in me. I was not fully accepting, like, hey, you're here to trial and error, Olivia. So you're gonna get it, you're gonna lead, you're gonna unconsciously succeed, you're gonna step into your power, you're gonna show up, you're gonna shine, you're gonna make it fucking happen. And you're gonna be messy about it. You're gonna mess up, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna go too fast, you're gonna have to learn. And like, I have to love that. I have to love that because it is so easy to get caught in judgment of where we didn't do it perfect. Or it is so easy to get caught in judgment of where we think we should be, right? Like, let me know in the comments, where do you think you should be and you're not there yet? And why do you think you're not there yet? And are you loving that you're not there yet? Or are you loving, or are you not loving that you're not there yet? And if you're not loving it, where can you love yourself more? So many of us get caught in guilt and shame and blame, and it will block us from creating. It'll truly block us from creating what we desire. It will truly block us from creating what we desire. It will. We have to love the shit. You know, we have to be as gentle with ourselves. We have to be as gentle with ourselves as if we were literally a baby, a child of the universe learning how to walk, how to crawl, how to run. You know what I'm saying? And that to me is unconditional self-love. Like when I like make a big mistake and everybody's mad at me and like I want to crawl in a hole and die and shame myself, you know what I do instead? I'm like, baby girl, you made a mistake. It's okay. You're human. You get to be human. That's why you fucking came to Earth. And yeah, you get to have a spiritual experience. And yeah, you get to work with the energy anatomy of the body. And yeah, you get to heal people. And yeah, you get to get paid for being who you fucking are. And yeah, you get to eat healthy. That's all a part of being human. But like, your spirituality cannot take you out of this world. That is dangerous. It is dangerous. It's dangerous to get caught up in these beliefs that there's a perfect world, because guess what? There's not a perfect world, and heaven on earth isn't perfect. I think heaven on earth is just people consciously doing the work and still making mistakes, but fucking making it better. And like us not doing evil shit to each other anymore. And that really starts with loving ourselves unconditionally, you know? Let me know in the comments what you're thinking. Right? Crystal, oh my gosh, I should be at $500,000 a year. I should have a loving partnership. Yep, I should own my own home and land, on and on, right? Love where you're at. You are where you are because you're human and you're learning, and all of us came in with some heavy fucking karma. And I think that's what these retrogrades are really about right now, fam. We got to let go of the baggage. We got to let go of the patterns. We got to say, this is the pattern. This is not me. This is a pattern. This is not me. This is a pattern. This is not me. We have to declare to ourselves every single day that this is not me. This is not me. That's a pattern. That's not who you really are, right? All those bad relationships we've been in, all those times we ate things that we really didn't want to eat, all those times we did things in our business that we knew we shouldn't, but we did anyway. Those are patterns of self-sabotage and fear, and it is your sign of trauma, and it is not you. But guess what? You still deserve love. You still deserve that partner. You still deserve the land. You still deserve the money you want to make. You still deserve it. We oftentimes let our life and what happens in life affect our sense of worth and what we think we are worthy of in this life. You know, There is no difference between being human and being spirit. And that's the thing. That is the thing. Lisa says, what is the difference between being human and spirit? There's no difference. And when we separate ourselves from the idea that we have to go into another dimension to be spiritual, we disconnect ourselves from actually being spiritual as a human. Like, that saying, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. No, I'm a human having a spiritual experience. Like, your human body is connected to your soul. And if it's not, that is why you're not being able to live your purpose, because you experienced trauma. And when you experience that trauma, your soul literally left your body. And that's what this energy work I do is about. And this is what I teach people in my 6-month program, Chakra Genie Method, which is now open for 3 people who feel called and desired to scale, learn the energy anatomy of the body, work with the 33 chakras, and learn how to do soul retrievals. Like, people who do soul retrievals literally are bringing your soul back into your body. Your soul came here to have a human experience. So when it tries to leave, you experience dissociation. And many of us can use our spirituality as dissociation. I've been watching this really dark story about a spiritual woman who murdered her husband and her 2 kids. Perfect example of how far gone she was in her spiritual realm, that she literally could not associate her love for her family anymore. That's how dangerous it is, guys. Like living in an illusion of love and light is very dangerous, because you can literally justify anything through God, anything through anything, especially if you're connected psychically to things. You can't believe every psychic message you get. You have to use discernment. That was something I learned hella quick, especially when I would get on here and channel people's like loved ones, which is a gift I've had for a long time. Like, I can channel dead people. I see dead people, but for real, I do. I hear them. I see flashes all the time. But I learned that really quickly, that like I have to create a portal for that message to come through, because when I open myself to the astral, anything is there. Anything can come through. Anything can tell me that they're God. It's up to me to use my gut reaction and my feelings and my knowledge of what it means to be connected to a source to discern whether or not that is true. And I use ritual, and I use intention, and I use light, and I go slow. That's really important for me. That's really important for me as a reflector. It's like a cult, right? Oh my God. Oh, wow, that sounds amazing. I'm doing soul retrieval by myself and a little nervous. I'm just learning on my own. Yes, Crystal. It's like, yes, soul retrieval is really good. But that's literally what a soul retrieval is like, you bring parts of your soul that have been trapped in memories, that have been trapped in past lives, back into your body, and you ground it. It's through the 33 chakras. It's through the energy anatomy of the body. And if anybody's doing energy work and does energy work and doesn't already know the 33 chakras and the energy anatomy of the body, and you want to be coached on it, send me a DM to join my program, because I fucking love teaching the Chakra Genie. I've been doing this program for 6 years now, I think. And in those 6 years, I have transformed many people's businesses and many people's spiritual lives, and many people are on their path, and it's so epic to watch. It's an investment. It's a 4-figure investment if you're called, aligned, and dedicated to do work with me for 6 months one-on-one. Send me a DM. I also have 8 weeks open via Voxer. 8 weeks of me and your Voxer walkie-talkie coaching you to your next level with all this magic that I cultivate, giving you wisdom, guidance, coaching, NLP, EFT, energy work, all the things. $888 for that. Payments plans available. Send me a DM. If you want to just come to Oregon and hang out with me for 4 days in a private Airbnb and take plant medicine, hit me up. Would love to have you. Would love to have you. Three spaces open for that as well. Let's see. What else do I have to say about this topic? So to get out of the facade, you gotta call yourself out. I feel like it's a defense mechanism to make everything light and love. And I said that, but like I really do. I feel like because the world is so dark and heavy, and it is, even if our corners of the world are beautiful and like we live beautiful lives and like we get online and we see beautiful people making hella money and it's fucking inspiring and we've done it and we're doing it and it's happening and we're here and like we're releasing the patterns of struggle and we're doing the work to create our own personal heaven, there is still darkness, right? And that darkness can feel really heavy. And so I feel like it's a protective mechanism. And it's like a part of, I actually think in Kundalini yoga they talk about this part of ascension. There's a part of there's literally a part of an ascension that happens when you go through your Kundalini awakening or any spiritual awakening. It's where your ego thinks it's God. Your ego now thinks it knows everything and it's God. And some people get stuck there. They don't let their Kundalini fully rise so that they can ground it back in. And there's actually 3 types of Kundalini. I teach that because it's the 19th chakra. I teach about that. This is why it's so important. This is why I'm so passionate about teaching the energetic anatomy of the body to healers, is because especially as spiritual people and healers, energy healers, animal healers, all the healers, coaches, whatever, people who believe in manifestation, anybody who's on the know, like we have to know the energetic anatomy of the body because it's actually an anatomy. It's as if you're going to a physical doctor that only knows the top half of your physical body and it doesn't know the rest of your body. Would you trust that doctor to work on you? Like we have to hold ourselves that accountable as energy healers and like as energy experts. Like we need to know the whole entire energetic anatomy of the body and we need to know it intricately and well. And we also need to know how to sell our services so that we can be those rich fucking people changing the world. That's why I combined it with business coaching. It's such a good program. I'm so in love with it. I can't wait to invite you into it. Send me a DM if you're called. But the Kundalini, there's that Kundalini awakening where you think you've done it all and you've mastered it and that's it. Guess what? The work is never done. Say it with me. Put it in the comments. The work is never done. The work is never done. Even when we have the thing, even when we're in it, we're still going to be doing work on ourselves. Just because we get what we want doesn't mean we don't have to work on ourselves. Being human is a lifelong journey. Come with me for your human experience. Yeah, and if a part of your human experience is being super busy, but you need some positive reinforcement and you want some coaching to get to your next goal, to get to your next level, and you've had success in yourself with coaching, and even if you're stuck and you're like, I don't even know what I would do, like I guarantee you the tools I give you will get you unstuck into where you want to be. On facts. Because I've done it for 7 years and I feel like I have about an 88% success rate. So that means about 3 people a year maybe don't. I haven't had anybody this year not get results. Everybody this year is getting amazing results. It's so freaking awesome to watch. One of my favorite things is watching my client heal their shit. Like there's a part of me that just lights up. If you do healing work, let me know if you like that part of healing too. Oh, I loved that question that Lisa asked. There is no difference between being human and spirit. There's no difference other than we have a physical body and like that's it, you know. Energy is never created or destroyed. So like even that's why this place is such an illusion. Just remember to use discernment with the illusions, especially in your spiritual. Especially in your spiritual. Let's do a little meditation. So if you're here with me right now, I want you to take a moment, close your eyes, put your feet on the ground if you can. If you're driving, just focus on my voice as you look at the road. And I want you to just feel into and see into your next level self. Really let yourself feel and see that right now. All illusions aside, just bring the desire of what you want to the forefront. And we're showering the Reiki master symbols down through your third eye, all the way to the tip of your tailbone, through your crown, all the way down the spine. And we're amplifying this vision and this feeling with these symbols. Shoi kini kora toi ai, mai kiri chikiri kora toi, sikini kora toi ai, kini pikiri toi ai, kararai. Grounding all those feelings down deep into the earth. Pulling your vision down deep into the earth as well. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. You guys, I'm so freaking excited to offer you what I have. And if you're ready and aligned to be served for whatever amount of time you feel called, send me a DM. I have my 8-week offer. I have my 6-month. I have a 12-month offer. I also have a 4-day in-person. If you live in the Oregon area and you want to come to a sister circle, send me a DM about it. There's one happening on the 23rd. And get ready because in December, I'm launching a group medicine retreat. I'm launching it before then, but it's going to be happening in December. And it's going to be for 15 women. And you're invited to come to Portland and experience sacred medicine with me and several other facilitators. So if you feel any interest about that, send me a DM. I cannot wait to fucking work with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys so much. See you next time. Bye.